Okay, I tied my hair back to put my makeup on, and now I'm committed. Now I'm committed. I feel like it looks a little weird, but I just took it down. It looks even weirder. It is my favorite time of the year. We've got the Beautylish Gift Card event upon us. It starts today. It ends on Sunday, this Sunday, so it only goes on for 4 days. And for every $100 that you spend, you get a $20 gift card to spend at Beautylish in the future. So you'll be emailed your $20 gift card once the event ends. And I just love this event. I mean, I'm always shopping at Beautylish, so the $20 gift cards, you know, as the year goes on, just come in really, really handy. So I absolutely love it. I've got a ton of recommendations here for you. And you know, it's no secret, the Sephora savings event is coming up for sure. So all of my recommendations are of products that you can't find at Sephora. And I think that's where Beautylish really shines. They carry some really special products. They carry some really special brands. They've introduced me to some really incredible brands. And that's actually where I'm gonna start off. So we're gonna start with Sonia G. Beautylish carries some incredible brushes. Sonia G is one of my favorite brush lines. And I've been in love with Sonia G's brushes since the very beginning. The very, very beginning when they dropped at Beautylish. So anyway, every time I feel like I talk about Sonia G or I use her brushes, it seems very nostalgic at this point because she's been around for a while now. But I'm gonna start with some individual brushes and then I've got 2 of her sets to recommend. The first brush is the large fan brush. And I was not a fan of fan brush. I was not a fan of fan brushes, no pun intended. I was not a fan of fan brushes until Sonia G's fan brushes came around. Fan brushes before, at least the ones that I came across, before Sonia G were very wispy. They were meant to really kind of just dust, you know, highlighter on. We saw that all the time, like Jaclyn Hill would be dusting highlighter on with her like really like light fan brush, little fan brush. And when Sonia G's fan brushes came around, they were hefty, they were big, they could blend. And that's when I really fell in love with them. I just never understood like the light application. It was like just sort of like sprinkling it over your face. I wasn't a fan of that. I really like working in my product, working it in and blending it. And this large brush is perfect for contour, bronzing. I love just, you know, using it underneath my cheekbones. I can do this action across my forehead, come down the other side. I can just swipe, swipe, swipe across my forehead just to add a little bronze, kind of bring it down my nose, get right underneath my jawbone here really easily. It's just perfect. It's perfect for that. It is multi-purpose. You can even obviously like use it all over your face for powder or whatever, but I really, and I think that's the intended purpose, I really love it for quick and easy contour. So that's the large fan brush. This brush you guys have heard me talk about forever now. So this is the Buffer Pro brush. And this is a flat top kabuki style brush. And I love, love, love using this with finishing powder. If I use a finishing powder like the Guerlain Meteorites, I love buffing it in. With this brush, it leaves your skin looking like marble. This acts like a Zamboni on your face. I always use the analogy of like when you're in a big like corporate office or just a big building, let's say, and it's all covered with like shiny marble floors. Late at night, there's this guy who comes along, he sits in this machine and it polishes up the floors. That's what I feel like this is doing to your face. This is like that person who polishes the floors in big, big buildings late at night. It is incredible. And I love this brush so, so much. It's also great for like hard to pick up powders. There are a lot of like baked gel powder formulas like the Chantecaille where you really have to kind of work to pick up the powder. You're not going to be able to use like a light, fluffy, soft brush with that. You're just not going to pick up any product. This brush is perfect for that, and then you can press the product in. It's also great for that as well. So I just love this brush. It's just great. The mini base brush is my favorite cream product brush. It is great for cream blush. It is great for cream contour, cream highlight, concealer around the nose, concealer under your eyes. It's just a great, great, great cream product brush. And the size is just absolutely perfect. I love it. It's versatile. It just works so, so well. And I have the same words for the Jumbo Worker brush. because it's like oversized and because it's not like a flat shader. I mean, I think if you look at it straight on, it may appear that way, but if you turn it to its side, it's much thicker than that. So I feel like not only can you use it as a shader, like just like flat laying down some pigment on your eyes or something, but then you can kind of blend with it really, really easily. And I love, you're gonna see, but I really love like oversized shadow brushes because I love the one and done eyeshadow look, and it's just great to just pick up a color with like an oversized like eye brush like this and just sweep it across your lid. Fast, super simple, and it just, yeah, and it's very, very versatile. So this is the Jumbo Worker, and those are the individual brushes that I would recommend. However, I think if you're gonna go for a face set, I would recommend the Fundamental Face series. So it includes 6 brushes, which are these 6 right here. Hold on. It includes the large fan brush. So if you're thinking about getting this individually and maybe you've been looking for some other brushes, I would say just get the Fundamental set. It's got 2 more fan brushes in here, which are phenomenal. I love the 2 smaller ones for blush, maybe some more precise contouring if you really want to like chisel some things out. The fan A for asymmetric is just that, it's asymmetric. So it kind of does this swoop over to the side. I feel like this has a little bit of a softer application because, you know, let's say you're dragging this down to do a little contour. These last bristles are a little bit longer, they're a little bit softer. So you're gonna have like a little bit of a softer application where this is gonna be very precise. Same with the large fan brush. There's going to be a little bit more precision with those 2 fan brushes. And then we've got some great cheek brushes. We have one that's a little bit flatter. We have one that's rounder. This I used today to apply my blush. I love using this in a circular motion. Anytime a brush has a round ferrule, it just makes me want to use it in circular motions. The flat one, of course, makes me want to sweep back and forth. Great for that. And then we've got this Worker large brush. And this, again, is like an oversized eye brush or very small face brush. I just love brushes that can kind of do both things, face and eye. This is great, again, if you want to do like a one and done shadow, or if you just want to drag this over your eyeshadow just to kind of blend it all out. It's great for that. It's also great for like highlight or anything precise if you're maybe doing like a multi-blush look. If maybe you've applied very lightly like a light pink, but then you want to like really pop out the apples of your cheeks, you take a brighter color and you just really work it in there. It's perfect for that. It's just great. It's just a really versatile brush. So I really like that Fundamental Face set. As for eyes, I love this Traditions series set. This is, I have to look this up because I can never remember the name. This is the Keyaki Kakishibu set. And look at these gorgeous handles. So they're contoured, aren't they beautiful? Of course, it includes an oversized brush. This is the T6 brush. So it's a little bit smaller than the Jumbo Worker brush. And it has a really interesting ferrule where it points up in the middle. So it's going to give you a little bit more control. It's going to bring like the bristles in a little bit more in the center. So I just think it's great, again, for like one and done eyeshadow looks. And then you have pretty much everything that you need. You've got this flat shader, which is kind of fluffy. I definitely think you can use it to blend this guy. This one I love to use as an eyeliner brush. Of course, you can use it however you would like. And then we've got the T3 brush, which I think is a great blender brush. We've got the T4 brush, which is almost like a detailed blender. I like using this, and I used it today to apply eyeshadow just to like my outer corner here. And it allows me to kind of precisely apply where I want the pigment, and then I use circular motions, and then I can blend it out that way. So I really like this one. And then we have kind of more of a typical flat shader. This is great for metallic shadows, glittery shadows, where you need to pick up some kind of piecey kind of formulas, and then it lays it down really beautifully without a lot of fallout. just great. So I just really, really love that eye set. If you're gonna go for an eye set, I really love that one. So those are all the Sonia G brushes. I mean, again, I love every single Sonia G brush, every single one. Again, if any of them catch your eye, I would take the opportunity to pick one up. They definitely sell out pretty quickly, but those are my recommendations for the moment. Wang GOSS has come out with new brushes. So I've got two to recommend. I love the Face 1 or F1. It's an angled cheek brush. So it looks like a typical kind of blush brush, but when you turn it to its side, it has a nice angle to it, and I love that. It really makes applying product to yourself really, really easy. I mean, it's like the perfect angle to do this, to just like blush right onto your cheeks. So I really love this. And I think it's great too if you're applying like powder over your concealer under your eyes. If you've got that nice angle to it, it's really nice to kind of get underneath there. So I love this. And you guessed it, we have another kind of oversized eyeshadow brush. So this is the E1 brush. And sorry, I should have cleaned it, but I've been using this quite a bit. So it is like an oversized shader brush. Let me hold it up next to the Jumbo Worker. So it's not quite as big and chunky as the Sonia G. It's like, I don't know, it's like the slender cousin to the Sonia G Jumbo Worker. So if you think those are just a little bit too oversized, you'll probably really love this one. Which brings me to the one CHIKUHODO brush that I wanted to recommend. CHIKUHODO is another brand I haven't used, and Wang GOSS even. All the brushes in his new sets, the face set and the eye set, they're really phenomenal. To me, these are just the ones that stand out, the ones that I've been using the most. CHIKUHODO, same idea. Love all the brushes I've tried from CHIKUHODO. But this one I probably use the most. This is a Z5 brush, and it is squirrel hair. So it's very, very soft. And so if you have really sensitive eyelids, which I know is very, very common, you may want to opt for a hair that is this soft. In any case, this is like an oversized large eyeshadow brush, perfect for one and done shadows or just laying down pigment like on the majority of your lid. So that's the Z5. And those are all of my brush recommendations. Beautylish really, really excels at carrying some incredible brushes. Sonia G, Wang GOSS, CHIKUHODO, KJAER. KJAER is another great brand. So definitely check them out. Oh, and SURRATT. The SURRATT brushes are incredible. They're all made in Japan, or at least most of them, I believe, are made in Japan. Yeah, so definitely take advantage. Let's hop into everything else, skincare, hair care, and beauty. So let me start with By Terry because I think I've recommended this product in every single Beautylish Gift Card event recommendations video. So let's just get this out of the way. This is the Brightening CC Serum. And I think in the past, I've always recommended the Sunny Flash, which I really do enjoy. My Sunny Flash got old, so I had to toss it and I need to get a new one, which I should do that. As you guys are watching this, actually, I'm filling up my cart for this gift card event. So definitely keep your eyes open for a big luxury beauty haul, which will be my Beautylish haul. But anyway, By Terry has expanded the shade range for this Brightening CC Serum. I think there's only like 3 or 4 to begin with. Now there's quite a few, and I really love this 2.5 Nude Glow. This to me is the most versatile shade for my skin tone. The Sunny Flash was definitely bronzy. It was bronzier. I could add a little bit into foundation to bronze it up. It was great in the summertime, but this is really great all year round for me. So I put this down as primer. I put it down by itself, wear it by itself. I will add a little bit to foundation if I want to add a little bit of glow. Today, I actually used it as like liquid highlight. So that's the highlight that you see on my cheeks here, and I brought a little bit down on my nose. So any of that glow that you see is the By Terry Brightening CC Serum. I just really love it. I think it's just incredibly versatile. You can use it in any way that you want. And now with the shade range extension, it's great. It's great. It's a lot of fun. So again, this is 2.5 Nude Glow. I do want to mention it has a very distinct By Terry rose scent to it. I happen to really like it. If you're sensitive to fragrances or rose fragrance in in particular, you may want to stay away from this because it does have a rose fragrance to it. So anyway, that's my by Terry recommendation. Let's move to Sisley because I've got a lot. I mean, Sisley has amazing skincare, hair care, and makeup. So I have a little bit from all of that. Let's start with some skincare. So another recommendation I've made, any chance I can, is the Sisley Essential Skincare Lotion. This is what I use right after I wash and tone my face. I'll throw this on, and this is a great like primer to the rest of your skincare. I always kind of equate it to, if you're a painter out there, it's like gessoing your canvas. It just preps your skin for all of the other skincare that you're gonna put on. And I was, of course, skeptical. I was like, God, how many steps do I need in my skincare routine? But when I started using this, like, I don't know, 5-6 years ago, I started using it and I was like, okay, it's nice. You know, my skin feels great, whatever. And then I remember either not using it or like I didn't take it on a trip. Anyway, I had been using it, stopped using it. And I was like, oh my God, I need to, I need to use that every day, all the time from now on. And so I travel with this now. I have like a little travel size bottle of it. I really love it. It makes to me, it really makes such a difference. I just feel my skin absorbs the rest of my skincare just faster and better, deeper. So anyway, I love this. This is, I don't know, like my 10th bottle. I've gone through so many of these. The next recommendation I have, I actually don't have because I finished it up and I need to order it during this event. It is the Velvet Sleeping Mask. You guys have heard me rave about this Velvet Sleeping Mask from Sisley. The whole entire Velvet line, I just love. But the sleeping mask, I think maybe it was the first product I was introduced to in the line. This Velvet Sleeping Mask will just instantaneously make you look well rested. I don't know how else to put it. It is my favorite like jet lag mask. It is a mask that I take when I go travel. Especially if I'm going to travel and I'm working or something, or I'm going for a specific event, you know, I'm landing and I'm going straight to a wedding or something, I bring this Velvet Sleeping Mask. It just, like I said, it just like wakes up your skin. It just plumps where it needs to plump. It depuffs where it needs to depuff. It moisturizes. It's so great. And it's not super thick. It's not super heavy. It has the most glorious, the entire Velvet line has the most glorious light, like super light, fresh, like floral fragrance. I absolutely love it. I'm just hoping one day Sisley will come out with a fragrance that smells like their Velvet line. I'll be all over it. So that is the sleeping mask. They do also have this nourishing cream. I've gone through a few jars of this. This is a great cream for me, either as a day cream in the winter or as like a night cream in the summertime when I don't need quite as much moisturization. It has the most incredible pudding-like texture, and this is a new jar for me. I definitely like using this. I don't know why. I really like using this in the spring, summertime. Maybe it's a fragrance or something, but I think I'm going to stock up on this and probably order another one during this event. Yeah, because I can go through this pretty quickly. I just love it so much. I end up slathering it all over my face, and then I end up putting it all over my hands and my arms, like, you know, whatever's like left over, but I always just take out too much. So that's the nourishing cream. I love it. And what I'm so sad about this, the Velvet Nourishing Body Cream. I think I'm gonna have to get another one of this. I'm just about done with this. Oh, it's so good though. It's so good. It just smells so great. It just is such a wonderful cream. It's not too thick, you know, where you just feel like you're just wet, like your limbs are just wet all day and oily and greasy. It absorbs just perfectly. It's nourishing. It's wonderful. I love it. I love it. So that is the Velvet Nourishing Body Cream. And speaking of body creams, they also have this Black Rose Beautifying Emulsion Hydrating Satin Body Veil. This is also glorious. This is, you know, it's interesting. I feel like the texture of this one is a little bit thinner than this one. So I was a little bit surprised, but I think this one is a little bit more, like, I feel like at the end of the day, my skin still feels like very moisturized, like I just moisturized it. So maybe that's why this is called an emulsion, but it is really divine. And if you're a fan of the Black Rose line from Sisley, which I think is 1,000 times more popular than their Velvet line. I happen to really like their Velvet line. But their Black Rose line, you'll love this because it has a really very, very subtle like Black Rose fragrance. Yeah, and it works just like the Black Rose mask. I feel like this is the Black Rose mask for your body. I should have led with that, but it's just coming to me now. Anyway, so this is wonderful, absolutely wonderful. Okay, in terms of the Hair Ritual by Sisley, the La Creme 230. This is, I don't know, I've gone through so many of these bottles. This is probably my 5th bottle, and this is pretty much done. I'm definitely gonna have to order it during this event. But this is a great heat protectant cream. And, you know, I have a problem when it comes to hair care products. My hair is definitely starting to dry out a little bit. It's going gray. I've never colored my hair, and I feel like a lot of hair products are automatically created for colored hair. And so a lot of moisturization has to happen, or there's just very specific types of hair products for color treated hair, you know, which I don't have. And so a lot of times things just don't, hair products, they just don't work right. They just don't work well. And generally they're too heavy. This cream is perfect. It's perfect. It's very, very nourishing. I love using this as a heat protectant. It's like a light lotion. I pump out, I don't know, it's like 1.5 pumps I use every single time I wash my hair. I put it in my hair while it's damp and then just work it in, and then I blow dry my hair or I heat style it from there. It's fantastic. I never feel like my hair is frizzy or fried or anything after, you know, trying to curl it or using whatever tools. It's really incredible. So that's the Cream 230. Yeah, I can't believe I go through this pretty quickly. Can't believe that one's almost done. Okay, Sisley makeup. Let's get into the makeup. So I have the Sisley Cushion Foundation on today. And when I was going through, you know, and making this recommendations list, I was like, oh my God, the Sisley Cushion Foundation. This is a fantastic, fantastic foundation. It's so smoothing. It's so perfecting. I mean, my skin looks pretty good if I do say so myself. It is really, really just softening. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous cushion foundation. I don't wear it that often. I don't wear cushion foundations that often because I would say the coverage is like a medium, light medium, really leaning towards medium coverage foundation. And I just don't wear like higher coverage foundations really. Most of the time, as you guys know, I throw on concealer, I spot conceal, and like that's it. But when I want my skin to look perfect, this is definitely one that I reach for. So I wear the shade, and if I forget to mention anything, everything will be down below in the description box, links to everything, you know, shades or anything like that, it'll be all down there. But I use 0C Vanilla, and I think it's perfect. So if you use me as a shade reference, 0C Vanilla. Definitely go for that one. So I use a foundation brush when I apply cushion foundation. I used to use a sponge, but I don't know, I just never have a sponge at the ready, but I have plenty of brushes. So yeah, I just used the Jumbo Base Brush from Sonia G, which I would recommend, but it looked like it was out of stock, so I just didn't want to tease you guys like that. If it's back in stock, the Jumbo Base Brush from Sonia G, fantastic. Okay, so that is the cushion foundation. And then the powder that I used on top is the Sisley Phyto Poudre Compact. It's their pressed powder. So I actually have 2 shades. I have number 2 Natural. That's what I have, just kind of lightly dusted all over my face. This is just, it's a great setting powder. It sets down the foundation. It does what it needs to do, but there's a slight satin sheen to it so that you don't look like a corpse or a mummy or just powdered your face. It is really, really gorgeous. The sheen is just perfect. You can barely even tell in the pan that it has one. It's like you have to apply it to your skin to really appreciate the effect that it has. So that's number 2 Natural. And then I do also have number 4 Bronze, which I used kind of lightly, dusted all over my face. I used a different contour powder, which I'll mention in just a bit, but I use this to bronze all over. And this is really beautiful. Again, if you have my skin tone, this is a really beautiful bronze. It's very neutral. It doesn't come off orangey or red or too cool or anything like that. It's really wonderful. And I love it for the summertime. I definitely up my bronzer usage in the summertime. So love that. And then these I don't have on, but I wanted to mention these. These are the like the Orchid highlighting blushes. And I have shade number 1, which is a really beautiful, kind of like bronzy. It ends up being kind of a bronzy blush because you have so much of this tan shade, and then the Orchid itself is peachy. It's beautiful. It's gorgeous. And then I have number 3, Coral, and this is more of a straight up kind of bright blush. It's just gorgeous. You know what? I'm going to apply some. I think you'll be able to see it because the blush I have on is a little bit subtle. Isn't that pretty? It's subtly bright, you know? It's not too in your face. I mean, I know I tend to go overboard with blush, but this like almost won't allow you. It's just like the perfect like whisper of peach. Gorgeous. Stunning, stunning, stunning. What else from Sisley? Sorry, I have this like big vat in front of me. I don't want to miss anything. Oh, well, the lipstick I'm wearing. This is the Fito Rouge Shine in Sheer Nude, number 10. This is another line. I feel like they just have so many really pretty shades. I wear the Sheer Nude because it's nude. It's easy, as you can tell. It almost just looks like a clear gloss. And there's just so many beautiful pinks and peaches and really light kind of cool red tones in the entire line. This is another one, like if any of the shades capture you, I would definitely invest in one. The formula is incredible. It's so moisturizing. It's so comfortable on the lips. Let me just do a swatch of nude for you. And you can see like how light the pigmentation is. It really is like a balm in stick. And it's just gorgeous. They just came out, I believe, with a new shade. Is it Sheer? I can't remember, but there is a new shade, which I think I'm going to order during this event, but it's like a peachy shade. Anyway, it looks perfect for the spring, summer months. But anyway, I love Sheer Nude, but all the shades are really beautiful because it's really about the formula. It's just super comfortable. And last but not least for Sisley, their liquid eyeshadows. So I love shades 2 and 5. This is 2 and this is 5. 5 is just a little bit deeper, but you know, I don't always have the best luck with liquid eyeshadows. I think when I first got these, I mentioned that. I think I had just struggled with like some of the Chanel ones. I was like, God, those were so patchy, or they kept like lifting up. Those just did not work for me. And then I came across these, so I was a little skeptical, but these are great. These are so great, and they set down completely. Sorry, I'm just doing some swatches. So this is number 2, and the shades are just beautiful. It's like this light shimmery satin shade. And let me just swatch 5. And they blend out beautifully with your finger. Of course, I like using a brush. And then they set down. I don't have any creasing issues or, you know, flaking off, anything like that. They're just very steadfast liquid shadows, and I really like the shades. There's 6 in total, but yeah, these are probably the 2 that I reach for the most, 2 and 5. Okay, I've got one recommendation from VISEART. Again, they're one of those brands, if anything catches your eye, you're gonna love it. They're all fantastic. But I especially love, and you guys have heard me talk about this palette quite a bit. This is their Étendue palette in Cashmere, and this was one of like the first cooler toned eyeshadow palettes of recent times that came out that I was like, yes, we need to keep going in this direction. Look at how beautiful this color story is. That whole top row, wonderful one and done shadows. The whole bottom row are great accent shadows. The whole middle row is just perfect for like to add a little bit of dimension. I love, love, love this shade. I love all of these. This one is beautiful as well. Oh, it's just stunning. Really, really beautiful eyeshadow palette. And I just love these palettes from VISEART. They're just such a great size. Portable, very great to travel with. I've definitely traveled with this palette a few times. Really compact with that mirror on the inside. It's just great. So love those shadows. If you like VISEART shadows, you won't be disappointed. And then let's talk about SURRATT Beauty. I'm so glad I could talk about SURRATT during this event because they're not at Sephora anymore. Shame, shame. But SURRATT, as you guys know, is one of my all-time favorite beauty brands. So the Dewdrop Foundation, my all-time favorite foundation. You guys have seen me use this, I mean, a number of times, which is why I decided to go with a different foundation. But the Dewdrop Foundation is incredible. It has like a light coverage, it's buildable. There are some light refracting bits in there that really kind of like fool the eye into giving your complexion like this filtered appearance. It is just incredible. I have shades 2 and 3, and I can pretty much use either. You know, 2 is a little bit light, 3 is pretty much spot on most of the time. And, you know, if I need to bronze up a little bit or if I need to bring it down my neck or whatever, it's fine. So again, if you use me as a shade reference, 2 or 3 should work. But anyway, it has a very kind of thin consistency. It blends out beautifully. I just love the Dewdrop foundation. And I also love the Dewdrop concealer, which you guys know I can't shut up about either. So I have, again, shades 2 or 3. 2 is a little bit light if I want some brightening. 3 is a little bit closer to my skin tone if I just want to, you know, a simple look, if you will. So this has like a sponge tip, excuse the mess, but it has a sponge tip applicator, and yeah, I love it. It blends out seamlessly, doesn't fall into fine lines. The coverage is there, but it's not mask-like. It's not like, you know, it just like blanks out your face. Yeah, it's just wonderful. It's very, very natural. And then the eyeshadow that I have on today is the SURRATT Beyond Beige palette. So it is this guy. Let me do some swatches actually, because many of you always ask when I do use this or feature this palette, people are always asking like, oh, it seems so much warmer on your eyes than it looks in, you know, the pan. And yes, I think it does have a warmer appearance. So here it is swatched and here it is in the pan. Let me see if I can hold it up one next to each other. I think especially this shade, which is even called Grige, but it really comes out fairly warm on my eyelid. And this is definitely a palette I like to use in the summertime when I feel like I want to go for like a bronzy look. This is perfect. If you have like, I don't know, maybe a little self-tanner on, maybe you've just been to the beach, maybe you overdo it with bronzer like I do. This is a great, great, great compliment, I think, to like a bronzy kind of glowy look. So that's the color story. The artistic eyeshadows from SURRATT, hands down, one of the absolute best formulas. They use a slurry formula. I believe it is exclusive to SURRATT. They're made in Japan. I mean, just absolutely impeccable. They are very clearly a powder, but they almost appear like cream shadows because they're just so smooth and they just have this like incredible like blending effect. They're just great. They're absolutely beautiful. So even if the Beyond Beige doesn't, you know, speak to you, there's other like pre-made palettes. I think there's a rose one that people are really loving. And then you could buy individual shadows and you can buy the palette separately. And then last but not least from SURRATT, I love their Lip Slick lipsticks. And these are, I'm like a broken record. They're like a tinted, very moisturizing lip product. So my favorite is Nude de Soleil, but the last time I checked Beautylish, it was sold out. And it is just a very nude, like a coffee brown nude shade. It's really beautiful. But some that I love that are in stock, one is Heaven, and let me do some swatches. This is a very pretty, pretty rose pink. Isn't that gorgeous? And it has such a beautiful, like glossy shine to it. And then one that I think is great for the summertime is Ladybug. And this is a really fun orange shade. And I think that's great. Again, like with bronzy skin look, I think it's just perfect. And it's not super duper highly pigmented. I mean, I made a pretty heavy swatch. So if you're kind of intimidated by like a bright orange, orangey red lipstick, this could be a good starting point because it's not too much. It's not like a matte liquid lipstick or anything like that. The packaging on this, just by the way, it's one of those that like it clicks up, but it doesn't click back down. So if you do get one of these, just remember that. It click up, it doesn't click back down. Okay, so that's it for SURRATT. I'm trying to chug through this. Okay, KJAER WEIS. My God, another good brand. Beautylish really does carry like some of the best brands. So they're beautiful tint. This is another foundation that I have not been able to shut up about, but it is a very light coverage, sort of like tinted moisturizer type of product. And I was, you know, I had the wrong shade for a long time. I had F4 and then I had F3 and it was still too deep for my skin tone. So finally I just went all the way down to F1 and that's what works for my skin tone. So again, if you use me as shade reference, F1 works for me. And I just love this, this tinted moisturizer. It's comfortable on the skin. It looks very, very natural. It looks great throughout the day. It doesn't wear away. It's just great. And it's one of those pump top squeezy bottle things. So that from KJAER WEIS. Of course, the KJAER WEIS cream blush. It is probably between that and the Clé de Peau are my two favorite cream blushes, I think. I don't have any of the individual ones left, but I have this one, part of the Cheek Collective, which I don't think is available on Beautylish. I think this was limited edition, but that center shade is Blossoming. And I think that is probably the most popular blush shade from KJAER WEIS because it's like just pink, just peach. It's like right in between. So it's super neutral, if you will, and works on a great many skin tones. So their cream blush, highly recommend. I had so many. I actually decluttered a bunch of them because they were getting old and they're cream products. And KJAER WEIS is an organic brand, so there's no preservatives or anything in there. So they did last a while, I will say, but I did finally have to get rid of them. But Above and Beyond is a great one. Desire is great, which is a little bit more of like a nude, warmer tone, perfect for the warmer months. Anyway, the cream blush is fantastic. And they came out with this Signature Glow palette, which you guys know I was like so, I mean, I still am, but I was so gaga over this when it came out. And I traveled with this, I brought this to Europe. So this palette has 2 cream shadows and 1 cream, I'll call it a cheek product because you can use it as a blush, you can use it as a highlight. I think it just sort of depends on your taste, it depends on your skin tone. But I really love these 2 eyeshadows. They're so great if you just want a quick little, I don't know, like a little highlight to your lids, basically. And this one has a little bit more micro glitter than this one. This has a little bit of micro glitter in there too, but it's so pretty. It's so, so pretty. The glow is so phenomenal. I love this palette. I love it. It's so beautiful. So that is the Signature Glow palette from KJAER WEIS. And, oh, one last thing. This is the beautiful eye balm from KJAER WEIS. They were actually kind enough to send me this one, so it looks kind of unused. But I went through one of these. It's great for under the eye as like a little eye primer. So if your eyes are looking a little tired, which mine often are, I love warming this up, you know, with my finger and then just kind of tapping just a really thin, almost imperceptible layer underneath my eyes. And it gives them just enough of a plumping where I don't feel like so craggly underneath my eyes. But it's a great balm. Sometimes I'll use it on my lips or whatever. It's really great. So that's the beautiful eye balm. And then RMS Beauty. I was actually surprised not to find these at Sephora anymore, this whole brand. I was like, that's really weird. But anyway, you guys know how much I love their Redimension Hydra blushes. So it's these blushes that are super duper highlighty and really, I mean, the colors are gorgeous. That one was Pomegranate Fizz. This one is French Rosé, which I use quite a bit. And they definitely have a glow. You have to like a glow to your cheeks to get into these blushes. This one is Maiden's Blush, and this is actually the one that I'm using today. So I have it just really lightly dusted. You know, I didn't want anything terribly dramatic for today. Let's just go ahead and swatch all of these. This one is Mai Tai. So this one is like the most orangey. And then we have Sangria, which is really beautiful, kind of terracotta shade. Isn't that pretty? So pretty. And they also have Prosecco Fizz, which is a highlighter. Same formula, but a highlighter. Look at that. So intense. really beautiful, wet looking. I think this is just perfect for the summertime. I always like think of these highlights that are really wet and smooth to be like poolside highlighters. Oh, so gorgeous. So those are my picks for RMS Beauty. And then one brand that I just sort of skipped over is OMOROVICZA. So you guys have heard me go on and on about the Queen of Hungary mist. So I'm looking around my vanity because I brought this from upstairs. I brought this down, but I'm pretty sure I have one. Oh, it's over there. Anyway, I have these all over the house. I just spritz, spritz, spritz whenever I feel like I need a little something, a little pick me up. I'll spritz that on my face. So I love it. It has like the most incredible, soft, slightly floral, like a white floral kind of scent. It is so refreshing for all the senses. Not only is it great actual moisture for the face, but like if you close your eyes and really inhale, maybe not as you're spraying, but like inhale the fragrance, it's like a real pick-me-up. It's incredible. And then I've also been really liking their Gentle Buffing Gelée face cleanser. I have very dry skin, but it's also very sensitive. So I like the idea of a buffer because my dry skin, I like to slough off, you know, all the dead stuff, but I can't use anything too harsh because my skin is sensitive. So I really like these cleansers that have like a gentle buffing action. This one is great. Tata Harper has one that's really great. I've mentioned that one before. But this is really wonderful. I keep this in my shower actually down here, and I usually shower down here like after the gym for some reason. It's just... It's like I just need to like cleanse myself as fast as possible, and I just run to the shower in here. So it's great. It's great for sweaty skin, that's for sure. So I've been loving that. And then last but not least, I wanted to talk about Ma Beauty. Ma Beauty's contour products are, contour/bronzer products are so good. So let me open this up. These two products over here are the two bronzers in their line that I like to use as contour. So this is a cream, and then this is a powder. So again, I'll list the shades down below, but this one is, sorry, M36, and this one is M80. But this cream bronzer is like perfectly cool. It's not too gray where it looks like too dramatic. It looks too haunted house. And then this is also, it has like a little bit of that pink in there that I love for bronzer. It's like that Bobbi Brown bronzer, Antigua, I think, is that the name? That I've talked about 1,000 times. It's just the perfect kind of like contour bronzer. It's just the perfect tone. So anyway, the formula is really wonderful. Ma Beauty, the company, is so great. They're so great at like being eco-conscious with their packaging and everything. Just wonderful. So that is it. Those are all of my recommendations. I feel like I've been talking for hours, so I'm going to shut up. But everything is listed down below in my description box. This event ends on Sunday, so start thinking about what you want to add to your cart, especially the SONIA G brushes. Those go quickly, but definitely take advantage. And let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe down below if you haven't already, and I'll see you in my next video.